What up, guys? We didn't think we were going to get this video out this week, but I rushed through all 20 shows that I'm watching in the last 2 days, and we are here having finished everything. So we're going to give you the top 5 for the week. Everything's a little bit different at the moment because I screwed up and had to restart my computer from scratch. Yay. But our number 5 slot for this week is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Honestly, this episode felt like what I liked about the start of Slime. Because we got rather action-packed, only for a tiny amount of time. But it was in a almost cartoonish way of, hey, you may have messed me up, but not the real me. Or in this case, hey, you may have messed me up, but only one of me. And that is the most like Looney Tunes-esque bullcrap that I think I've seen in anime in a long ass time. And this fits this show so perfectly. We ended up recruiting somebody new. There was a dope fight. One of his people got to show off their stuff. This is season 1 Slime. Unfortunately, it's still wrapped in 13 layers of politicking. But the girl we recruited also seems to know a lot about the person she was recruited from, and now she gets to share that information, so maybe we can get to the big war that's coming up sooner rather than later. But I'm also really hoping there's a 24-episode season, because otherwise we're going to get left at episode 12 with a massive cliffhanger that's going to be, hey, the war's about to start. I hope we don't, but I could see it happening. In number 4 this week, we got Demons of the Shadow Realm. And this is here for one reason alone, and that's new demons. We got so many new demons this week. And the best part is, most of them aren't combat. Actually, none of them that I could tell were combat-oriented. Because we got to see that there is a mangaka who has Ink and Whiteout as his two demons. Their names are Black and White, but their powers are Ink and Whiteout. So they erase damage with Whiteout, and then they color things back in with Ink. And that's such a cool power that's just like, you need to know how to do things properly. And the guy with them is a perfectionist mangaka and hates every little thing that he got wrong. And I love that for him. On top of this, we also got to see several more daemons that were just like, they're just there to set out food and cushions and things like that. And that's so fun. We also got to see these two have an actually brotherly, sisterly moment, because he got invited to stay at the compound. And he's like, no, you guys kind of slaughtered my entire village, so can't really trust you here. Which, fair enough. They let him go without too much of a hassle. And as he's trying to leave, his sister, who is not allowed to leave the compound grounds at all because she could get killed the moment she leaves safety, rushes off of compound grounds to give him a hug before he leaves. And that's beautiful. It's a, hey, I haven't seen you in ages, and now I am willing to literally risk life and limb to give you a hug. We also found out that left and right are meant to be the balancing force for break and seal, and somebody else is meant to have them. It's never meant to be the break or the seal. It's meant to be somebody that can actually keep those two forces at bay, because left and right can end break and seal. Also, they're trying to make sure there's never a set of these twins again. That's why they slaughtered the entire village. And Jesus Christ, that's metal as hell, but also really on point for this mangaka. In number 3 this week, we have Snowball Earth. And we got to see some dope-ass kaiju fights. Like, we got to see that, realistically, we only saw one of them actually in action from the evil kaiju tamers, which was a stag named Eris. Eros, sorry, not Eris. This one's love, not chaos, which could go either way. But his antlers could turn into Eros bazookas, love bazookas, which when they fired, blow things up. Because who doesn't love that? But they also never miss, which makes it really awkward when the place you're firing at just throws up a shield. But we knew that was going to happen because it had to happen. They can't just destroy it straight away. The MC got told, hey, go hide out, because if you don't, you're not really going to be able to help us because you only got one arm on your robot and you don't really have any weapons apart from that one arm. Because the Centaur really messed you up and now you're kind of having to deal with that. Outside of this, we got to see how much the girl who's tamed the fire chicken looks just like all of these evil guys, which makes me think either they're from the same place or they were part of the same experiments. I'm not sure which as of yet, but it's cool to see, and I can't wait to find out how they connect together. Plus, that bird is metal as hell. It dug its way out of the ground with a fire tornado and came to fight every contender. Love to see it. In our number 2 slot, we have Witch Hat Atelier. This is from the manga, obviously, but Jesus, this is a good picture, especially of Daddy Boy here. Sorry, things are still the wrong way around. We got to see our big boy up here messing around with the ink vial that was hers. And he is trying to help people be able to share medicine around, apparently, because that's not something we're allowed to do anymore. So there is healers that were cast out because, hey, technically you're doing magic to the body. You're not allowed to do that at all. So what was done was somebody would take an empty vial with this engraving in it to wherever it had to go, and then somebody would fill up the connected vial with a health potion, which they would then end up in the other vial, and they'd get the person to drink it. Love it. It's an excellent mechanic. Need to steal it for D&D. But when trying to take the things out of that vial, specifically the little metal plate that actually shares things, he activated their trap card. And that kind of set off his biggest fear, which was being stuck in a load of water. And also electricity, because, hey, I don't want you to be able to swim to safety. But he wouldn't have been able to anyway because magic water. But also he lost feeling in his hands the next day, which was actually pretty sick to see. Then our main girl, she's finally fixed the flying shoes that she borrowed off of the antagonistic housemate. And apparently she didn't do it right, because when the antagonistic housemate tried to fly to old mate to tell her that she had passed out and fallen to the ground, she just shot straight into it because she'd made the power lines too strong. And I love that, because it's like, hey, obviously she didn't test these. She's just been practicing her ass off trying to get this right. This show is cute as hell. It is the quintessential cute girls doing cute things, and I love it so much. But in our number 1 slot, there's one thing that beat this week. That's Marriage Dachshund, because we got the Bugman wedding. And I love Bugman. I love the Bugmaster so much. And I love the dynamic between the Bugmaster and our Poison Boy. But it's not even that's why this is so great. The wedding itself is the pinnacle for this show, because it is Bug Guy, who has a centipede tattooed on his head, and walks around but never moves his feet because centipedes are under his feet carrying him around, arrived and departed the wedding via giant butterfly on his back, which is a flex. He also had her veil being carried by bees, and she's not some other kind of weird bug person. She's just the normalest lady you've ever seen in anime. And I love that for him. I am so happy for Bug Guy. But obviously somebody wasn't happy with the whole situation and tried to crash the wedding. So Poison Bloke had to go stop him. Not Bloke had to come in and give the best man speech, because he was the best man at the wedding. While he was doing that, poison guy went out, fought the mercenary, who, hey, I'm going to blow up the entire wedding, until he saw how happy Bug Guy was, and he launched his arms and legs out because they were explosive and let them blow up. And they basically acted like fireworks for the wedding and blew away the clouds so they had an awesome sunset. Which, fuck, this show is great. I cannot hype this show up enough. But yeah, that's it for this week. Let me know how wrong I was down below. And hey, while you're here, subscribe.